What is up, everybody? It's Joe from JLB Games coming at you with another cool video. We're finally back in the challenge park, and I know you guys have been super patient with me, and I do really appreciate it of getting this next episode out. It's been, I know, a very long time since the last episode, and I wanted to make sure that this was done right before I went into it and started building, because I just have been in a really bad creative block, and on top of that, we have had some challenges along the way, mostly that me and my wife currently have a friend staying with us, and we had to give up one of our offices while that is happening. So basically, she had to move her setup into my office, which means that it makes it a little harder to record audio and do streams and everything, because we're sharing the same office at the moment. So it is kind of challenging because again, that you know, the only time I have time to basically record is when my wife is not also in the room as well, because obviously I don't want to disturb her while she disturbs me at the same time. So I mean, it's fine, but like for recording purposes and streaming purposes, it's not that great. So let's go ahead and talk about the first episode while we're here, or the first section that we've been working on here. Now this is basically just going to be a time-lapse video, so I know I have like the usual format of having kind of a mixture of both, but this is going to take a few episodes before I get this section open. In fact, I feel like there's still a lot more to do even after this episode, so just kind of bear with me, and it might be a little bit before we really start to get back to that old format again. And again, it is easy to at least record. It's a little easier to at least record the footage, because I don't have to do like audio the way I'm doing it right now, because we're just going to be doing time lapses to start. But if you haven't noticed already, we are going to be creating a steampunk area called Steam City, which is going to be really cool. I've always wanted to build like a steampunk themed section in my park, and now we're going to do that. So it is a lot of work and a lot of stuff, and I'm no expert when it comes to like the steampunk theming. I just know that I love the kind of theming and everything. I think it's just really cool theming, to be perfectly honest. So I did download a lot of different steampunk punk pieces from the Theme Maker's Toolkit on the workshop, and it turned out pretty cool. So I decided to go ahead and make the entrance around here. I did make the sign a little bit off screen because I was kind of testing it to begin with, and I ended up liking it so much that I decided to just keep it. So I think it's very easily makes sense that we end up putting in a Gears of Fear ride here, because I mean, you know, it fits the theme perfectly. But on top of that, we're going to make it an indoor attraction as well. So this isn't just going to be a, you know, just a flat ride. I want it to be immersively themed, and each ride in this section is going to be very immersively themed. So yeah, we didn't do much theming in the central hub area, or basically the entrance section of the park, and it's not meant to be super themed, but these themed lands are going to have very big immersive theming to them, which is what I wanted to do here. So by no means, by the end of this video, we have a lot still of work to do on this project, or this part of the park. I at least want to get this ride done, and maybe a roller coaster of some sorts before I open up the land. So we still have quite a bit of money, and I'm hoping that we do have enough money to make this all happen beforehand. So yeah, it's pretty cool though. I'm very excited to see where this actually ends up going. But as you can see, we do have quite a bit of cool stuff kind of getting started here, and just getting like each wall is just gonna have so much detail and theming, and you know, I tried to use a little bit of references for the steampunk area, and again, I'm no expert when it comes to doing this steampunk kind of stuff either. Like, I'm kind of new to this kind of theming and storytelling when it comes to this part of the park, because I do want to give it a big storyline and everything along, you know, like that, and I want it to be very immersive and really cool. There's going to be some really cool building structures around here. So I do want to create some cool shops and scenery and theming. It's probably not going to be super huge to start out because we can always add on to the land later on. So it's going to start out, I think, with 2 rides and maybe some shops around the area as well, just with some really cool theming, because the theming is going to be the big part of this entire project of this part of the park. So I know you guys have definitely eagerly waited for this next episode, and I know it's not like a super long episode. I know I didn't get like a ton done, but just know that the reason why I don't like to build when I'm in a creative block is because things just are not going to turn out the way I want them. Even during these episodes, I had a little bit of motivation, but not a ton, but I used that at least a little bit to get started. Because again, I just, when you're in a creative block and you don't have the motivation, it's not going to turn out the way you want it. And I want to give you guys the best type of content possible and the best possible building skills at my highest peak, because obviously for this kind of section, I definitely want to have it to be top tier in my skills and abilities of building and everything. And because I wanted to tackle something and kind of get out of my comfort zone and build something a little bit different, and that just happened to be the steampunk section. I wanted this from the get-go. I wanted a steampunk section in this park, so it was definitely the first thing that kind of came to mind when I decided to go in here. So I just wanted to do a lot of different things here. This building's gonna be really, really cool, and you'll see that we get into a little bit of the interior of the flat ride of the Gears of Fear. I kind of have an idea of, we'll see how it turns out. I might scrap it in the end, but we'll see if it works. I'm trying to have it to where there's like an upper room when the ride rotates you upwards to the top, like when it's at its highest point, because obviously this building's gonna have to be pretty tall to accommodate the flipping of the Gears of Fear ride. So I basically wanted to flip up into a different section that has a lot of different theming, so when it flips up, you're gonna see that extra room in the top. You'll see what I mean kind of later on. I didn't really get a detailed super high I didn't do a lot of high detail on it, but there's a lot of theming that's going to go into this section, and it's going to be really, really cool. I'm very, very pumped, and if you haven't noticed already, but I hope you guys are excited for this section as well. I know there's quite a bit of good content out there when it comes to like steampunk theming and Planet Coaster, and I'm just excited to actually finally do something like this, because I've been wanting to do this kind of theme for a very long time, and I just think the idea of having a steampunk themed section in a park just sounds awesome. In fact, I might actually look at Fantasialand with the FLY area, because I know that's very kind of steampunk themed, and there's a lot of different steampunk themes references I could go off of. And I've been looking at a lot of just like steampunk concept art and stuff like that to try and find some inspiration for this section, and I come up with something that kind of looks pretty good, and I think it's turning out pretty solid. It's going to take some time to get it where I want to be, but like I said, it will probably be quite a few episodes. So just keep that in mind, that this is not going to be like some, a couple episodes and I'm done and we're getting this area opened up. So it's going to be a lot of time-lapse episodes. I know I know you guys love the prefer to probably have that kind of format where I kind of stop and start again, but for now it's going to kind of be this way, where we're just going to be doing some time lapses for now. And I thought it would be kind of cool to have like some windows looking into the ride while you're in the queue line, just so you can kind of get that a little bit of excitement while you're waiting in line. Give you kind of a quick preview while you're, waiting, and you can kind of have something to look at. You can kind of look at the ride while you're in there, because you're not going to be able to see the ride from the outside. So I had this idea too. I knew I was going to put the Gears of Fear ride in, and I just wanted to have like a cool interior for it. And I was like, man, I really want to theme it up quite a bit, and I could have just easily plopped it down and did some like very minor steampunk theming into it, but no, I want to go all out and create a very cool immersive experience for this ride. And it's not just another flat ride. It's gonna be like a full experience ride. Like, yeah, you might be able to find this ride in other places in the world, but you can only find this kind of ride here. That's kind of like what I wanted to do. So there's gonna be a lot of theming and just around the area and some really cool stuff to look at as well. So this is gonna be a really, like, probably the best ride in the park. Probably even more than the wood coaster that's in the park right now, and it's a nice thrill ride, and I just wanted to really kind of stick out and everything. And then I think for the coaster, which I'm not sure when we'll get started on, maybe a little bit in the next episode, maybe if we get around to it, I kind of want to focus on this ride first before we get to the coaster. And I'm still kind of deciding what kind of coaster I want to do. I'm thinking about doing like a multi-launch coaster of some sorts, like a multi-launch family style kind of coaster. So it's not like a really big thrill ride. It's gonna be like a kind of like a family ride with like some launches, but it's gonna have some crazy immersive theming, and that's kind of like the idea I want to go for it. So I want to have a lot of moving like gears and stuff and animated gears throughout this area, but you can see that I just kind of started placing a lot of pipes, gears, and everything along the lines there as well. So, yeah. And then as for the room above, I do kind of try and get it started, but like I just wanted to get the shaping of the top room as the ride flips up into it, and you'll see that here at the end of the video as we are actually approaching the end of this video. So, but yeah, I kind of construct this little bit top section that you'll see going into this ride, and it's gonna flip you up into like another themed level of the ride that you can't see from the bottom. So I thought that was kind of like a pretty cool idea, and we'll put some cool theming and really make it look good on the exterior as well. We have a lot of work to do on this ride, and I'm very excited to see what it turns out to be in the very end. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think of how this ride and the idea of this ride is, and I hope you guys are enjoying this episode, and I really hope that the next episode doesn't take too long. But again, I have a lot of interesting circumstances going on right now, but hopefully I'll get more videos out to you guys. But thank you guys for staying patient. Make sure you have a great day. You have a clue tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much, and goodbye.